I just saw this video with Norman Cassiano, a supposed survivor from the shooting at the gay nightclub in Orlando, Florida. I'm going to point out a few things before I play the actual video clip. This guy, supposedly the largest mass shooting in U.S. history, and this guy just happened to be on TV, getting his 15 minutes of fame and getting paid well. I'm sure that's what it's all about while pushing their agenda. These people are a dime a dozen in society. They'll do anything for that fame and fortune and to line their pockets. People are desperate, willing to do anything to get what they want in this world. Now, one thing I want to point out, as far as when these so-called elite select these crisis actors, they love a play on names. Not only play on names, in this case, duality, how things all match up and come together. Again, his name is Norman Cassiano, and he's 26. Cassiano just so happens to be 26 in Pythagorean numerology. And also in Chaldean numerology, it is 21. And that is also blackjack, or 777, as part of the hoax code as well. Just like the gorilla hoax video that I covered as well. When they show this bridge, they don't show it for no reason. There's always a reason behind everything they do. Get your 777. Now, people that will watch this for the first time that don't understand the occult, they might laugh at this. At the very beginning, I did as well. But this is the truth. This is how they do it. These people are psychopaths, just like watching Batman and Robin with the Joker and Riddler. This is how these people are. It's all about the occult of 777. There's many cases of this. Show another image here. Here's Crowley's book, The Occult of 777. You get the twin pillars, all about duality, the winged disc as well. Let's take a look here at John Benet Ramsey and that hoax, and look at the house they show, talking about duality before I even show the 777. You have September 27th. So you get the 9, and you get the 2 and 7, you get the 9 as well. Put those two together, 9 and 9, you get 18. You get 666. It's all coded. I'm talking about the house. The reason they show the front of this house, here is a 7, here is a 7, and here's another 7. Again, it might sound completely ridiculous for those that don't understand the occult, how the psychopaths that own and control this world operate. But this is exactly what they do. Taking a look at making more connections before playing the video clip with Norman Cassiano. Let's take a look here at the cult of 33. Just quick examples like Timothy McVeigh with this hoax, this psyop that took place in Oklahoma City. I'm not saying they didn't blow up a building. This is definitely basically an agent, someone on the inside. And again, supposedly he was executed at the age of 33. Just take a look at these crisis actors involved with the supposed Oklahoma City bombing. Take a look at this guy. Do you think this looks like a real victim? Let's skip around here a little bit. Just take a look at some of these crisis actors involved. This guy right here, give me a break. You can't use your towel to wipe your face. Just a stage photo for this staged event. Take a look at this garbage. Can't tell if this is a man or a woman. Just another transgender crisis actor like they're doing today. Nothing new under the sun. Again, how they do. Look at this person here. Look at this woman. Completely ridiculous. This emergency worker showing this little boy to her and her expression on her face. Here's another image of her. I mean, people are traumatized by these so-called tragedies. They don't think. They're completely paralyzed emotionally and mentally, and they can't think. They don't think. They're just blinded by those that own and control this world, that control the media. More examples of the 33. Getting back on topic. As I mentioned before, the Twin Towers, construction started in 1968, and the towers coming down in 2001. That is exactly 33 years. And the supposed pilot, the supposed terrorist, Mohammed Atta, the one that supposedly crashed a plane into the North Tower, he just so happened to be 33 years old as well. So again, you get the duality, the towers coming down after 33 years, and the pilot, supposed pilot, 33 years as well. Now, more recently, with El Chapo supposedly digging a hole, a trench down 33 feet who may make his escape. Of course, as I mentioned, CNN being on the third parallel, all these 33s everywhere, and El Chapo itself, the name, the reason they gave him this nickname is 33. So, again, before playing the video, I needed to connect the dots so people understand. Right? When I talk about Cassiano being 26 and his age being 26, when it comes to numerology, this is how they operate. And again, you'll understand, like I stated, with his name also being 21 in Chaldean numerology. That's what it's all about, duality. Now, let's take a look at the actual clip of this atrocious crisis actor in action. I mean, like I said, just bad acting. You see the smiles. It's supposedly 49 murdered and 53 injured. And this guy is way too casual. Just take a look at this clip. Complete junk.
Crowded bathroom stall when the gunman walked in and started shooting. Norman was just discharged from the hospital on Monday and spoke with us moments ago. I see you still have your hospital wristbands on.
First thing you see him do is laugh. Give me a break. I mean, if this was a real event, you're paying no respect to those that died. Obviously, right off the bat, you can tell this guy is nothing but a fraud, nothing but a liar. It makes me sick and disgusted how people are buying into this, giving money to their GoFundMe page. Complete insult. If you have a half a brain in your head, if you can't tell, this guy's nothing but a liar, a paid crisis actor.
How are you feeling?
I'm still gathering everything, just trying to make sense of everything. Physically, it's a lot. There's pain, but...
What pain? Absolutely no pain. Nobody died, nobody got hurt. This guy's just happy again. Be on TV, getting his fame and glory, and getting paid very well, I'm sure.
And emotionally, that's a whole
Emotionally, it's a whole nother level, yeah.
Okay, so take us back to that night. You were about to call Uber, you were about to leave the bar when the shots rang out, and you managed to get to a bathroom.
Yes.
Tell me what happened next.
Once I heard the first two shots, I knew that it wasn't music, and I automatically just got as low to the floor as I could and crawled my way to the bathroom and went into the biggest stall they had. And once I got in there, there was already about 20 people hiding and just lined up against the walls. With me, there came like another group of like 10 or 15 more. So in total, it was like 30 or more of us in there.
And then you were listening to the shots, but then you started hearing them get closer and louder.
Yes. At that point, it became extra real.
Extra real. Give me a break. The whole point of going over all these little details is to give the illusion of it being real. Every little fine detail. This is what they really focus on with all these hoaxes. Just going on and on. And again, with all these minute details, it gives the illusion of it being real. And that's why they cover all these minor details. Supposedly real minor details when they're nothing more than made up. This is a huge part of passing these fake events off as real.
It became really real. At that point, everyone just was ducking and closing their eyes, and just, I heard a lot of people praying. I myself was praying and just saying that this can't be my last moments here. Like, this can't be what's going to happen right now. It's still very surreal.
I cannot even imagine. And then the gunman came into the bathroom.
Actually, a victim made his way into the bathroom first. I guess he was trying to get away, and he had gotten hit already.
And so he was following that person into the bathroom.
We didn't really put two and two together right away, but the person was so injured that he automatically fell to the floor. And I was one of the closest people to the front where you could see the space he was laying underneath. We were trying to get him to be able to come into the stall, but there was so many people that there was no way of being able to.
Again, this is how they do it. The fine details.
To get him in. So I was just consoling him and, telling him, just make sure you breathe and be quiet so that he doesn't hear us, or, so nothing worse happens. And I just told him to look me in the eye and just relax. And I'll remember this forever. He just looked me in the eye and he's like, I don't want to die. At that moment, the shooter came in and fired another. Well, at that moment, he fired another shot at the gentleman who was on.
This guy here, the supposed terrorist that did the shooting, just a perfect image. This cocky image he portrays during this photo. This is, of course, to get people incited, to get people enraged when he's nothing more than a crisis actor himself. A silent crisis actor, a part of this hoax.
On the floor.
And killed him?
Yes. I actually witnessed his last few moments. At that moment, he then rang fire on the stall, just without knowing where he was shooting. He just shot at the stall. I was near the front, and once I heard him cocking the gun and getting ready to do what was about to happen, I turned and started getting closer towards the back. There was no space, so everyone's piling up on top of each other, trying to get as far away as possible. And when he rang the first shots, that's when I got hit on my right side. And I automatically knew, like, it was real. He had like a good brief 10 seconds in between that, and at that moment I pull out my phone and I start calling my parents. My phone was dying because I wasn't expected to be there that long. So my father was able to pick up, and the only thing I was able to put out with the last few seconds of my phone was, "Mom, Dad, I've been shot. I love you guys," and then the phone hung up. So I got even more distraught because I'm like, this.
All these people supposedly shot during this event. The reason they have them all show up on TV right away when the emotions are high. In a real life situation, these people would be in the hospital for much longer, recovering, and then doing an interview. The emotions are high. They want to stick these people on TV right away to further push the agenda. This is what it's all about. But again, the reason I believe, they don't care if these crisis actors smile or laugh or don't even, again, look like they're traumatized by this, is it doesn't matter to them because they know most people are going to believe this anyways. They know they have the sheep exactly where they want them, and they're going to believe this as real. No matter if they smile, giggle, or laugh throughout this. They'll just say, "Oh, it's just a nervous laughter," or "Everybody reacts differently." Yes, everybody reacts differently. But on TV, whenever there's a shooting or a mass murder, everybody's smiling and laughing. This has become the norm.
This is real. This is really happening.
I'm saying it's real.
Screaming and yelling at it.
He keeps saying it's real. This is to reinforce subconsciously this was a real event. Again, when it was nothing more than a hoax.
Him, like, please don't do this. Like, we haven't seen your face. We don't know who you are. We haven't even heard your voice yet. Like, just please don't do this. And I don't know if that made him want to do it more.
Like, this guy's really going to negotiate with a terrorist. "We haven't seen your face. We don't know who you are. Give me a break.
We haven't even heard your voice yet. Like, just please don't do this." And I don't know if that made him want to do it more. He had then grabbed the gun and shot over the top of the stall. And that's when I got hit on this side.
And you said he didn't speak, but he was laughing?
He laughed once when he shot the gentleman in the front.
Yeah, just like you were smiling and laughing at the beginning of this video. These people make me sick. This hideous haircut with a stupid pigtail and a smiley face. This guy makes me sick. This woman, she is treasonous. She is working for the New World Order. They all are. This guy here, he's going to get paid, I'm sure, a good amount of money, and he'll just ride off into the sunset while the agenda is being pushed. And this no good whore, this no good prostitute, knowing this was just a fabricated event, but she doesn't care. She just gets paid to lie, just like the rest. And if she doesn't do it, they'll get someone else to do it for her. This goes to show what people will do for money and fame as well. They say everybody has a price. Not everybody, but certainly in this world, when people want to get ahead in this rat race that they created, this slave system, taking the easy way out by just basically telling lies and getting paid well for it. I hope it's worth it in the end. As always, liars can't keep their lies straight, and they always give themselves up. Let's take a listen to Norman Cassiano, a supposed survivor at the Pulse nightclub. Just take a listen to what he says here.
Once he shot him, he laughed.
The gunman laughed.
Yes. And that's something that's imprinted in my head for the rest of my life. Like, I've literally been in the hospital for 2 days trying to sleep, and one of the first things I hear when I close my eyes are guns, bullets hitting the floor, and just that laugh. I've literally been in the hospital for 2 days trying. Been in the hospital for 2 days,
he states. Here's the problem. The supposed shooting happened on June 12th. Okay? The date of this upload of this interview was June 13th. So he said he's in the hospital for 2 days. Again, how is this possible? This video is uploaded by CNN itself with Anderson Pooper on June 13th, a day after the supposed shooting. So once again, these liars can't keep their lies straight. Of course, Mr. CIA himself, Anderson Pooper, who always interviews the crisis actors. Now, let's take a look at this interview I showed previously.
My footprint bloodied on their pants to then get on the sink, and I had to pull myself up over the stall wall, and it had like a space this big, so I just pushed myself, and I literally just landed on the floor. And then I heard more gunshots, so I scooted over and hid under the sink. And once I saw flashlights, I knew that the police was here, and hopefully we were going to be okay. At that point, I still yelled and was like, let's get out, let's get out. Everyone's being quiet or saying, shh. I poked my head out, and it's dark, so the police didn't know what was going on, anything, and they fired. I then pulled back and started screaming. I guess I started going into a little bit of shock. Right. I started screaming and yelling, I'm a victim, and
I'll just stop right here for a second. So Norman Casiano says he was in the nightclub, and when the police came in, they saw him. And they thought he was maybe a perpetrator, one of the shooters, or the shooter himself. So what's the deal here? Take a look.
They shine the flashlight. They're like, just if you're a victim, just show us your hands. And
then who is this? Who's this guy right here with the pigtail? Is that Norman the lunatic? Norman Casiano?
Just run out as fast as possible. So that's what I did.
What an unbelievable story. Thank you for sharing it with us. It's an important thing for us to all hear.
So this guy, again, was in the nightclub. The cops saw him, and he took off, supposedly. Now let's take a look at this footage. You have all these cop cars back here. Okay, for some reason, again, they're walking this way towards the club. Play this footage here.
There in Orlando, did you see any of the rescued hostages leave the site?
No, sir. At that point,
There he is with his stupid pigtail.
At that point, they
with all these cop cars, why didn't anybody, the supposed shooting victims, he was supposed to shot twice, why is he walking? All these cops are sitting in their car, not helping these supposed shooting victims. Does this make sense? He just walked by a bunch of cop cars? And of course, the reason they're doing this, they want to make it look more dramatic, pull the heartstrings. Obviously, you can place these supposed victims in the cop cars, bring them a few blocks down to the hospital, down here on Orange, but no, they couldn't do that. They have to, show all these crisis actors walking down the street. One thing I also noticed is all the camera views are from this side. There's 3 camera views, one from this footage from RT and 2 on top of the roof, but no other footage on the other side of Orange. Let's continue on a little bit more here.
We were there for a little bit behind this fire truck. We heard the takedown. We waited.
Now, take a look here. Once again, for anybody that doubts, this is Norman Casiano. Let's take a look at this comparison photo. Again, with this supposed cop, Anderson Pooper. These two are one and the same. Why would a guy supposedly shot twice, by the way, how did he get all the way down here, all the way to the end of Orange? There's no way this guy, supposedly shot twice, would run all the way down south of Orange here. No way. If you're shot, you'd be on the ground. You wouldn't even be able to walk, period. Supposedly shot on the side. No way. Again, just another hoax added to the list, and more to come, and the sheep are going to fall for him, just like always, hook, line, and sinker. What you make in this world is not what you know, it's who you know. And Anderson Cooper of CNN is well connected, with his mother being Gloria Vanderbilt. So it's no major surprise He's one of the so-called top newsmen in the industry. You know, he was put in that position not because of any special skills, since he has no formal training in journalism. But what he does have training for is the CIA. And just taking a look at his net worth, they say over $100 million. And like they say, everybody has a price. And obviously Anderson Cooper was bought out. Now taking a look at something interesting here with his resume, and seeing that he went to Yale University, which so happens to be the same school, the same university that George Bush and John Kerry attended, which is well known for the secret society, the Skull and Bones.
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go wild.
I'm sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the web.
Number 322?
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us?
Not much, because it's a secret.
Now, one thing I find interesting is this older interview on ABC News Nightly from back in 2001, where Anderson Cooper is talking about his reality show, which was called The Mole. And this is a form of mockery, because that's exactly what he is. That's exactly what he does for a living. He plays the role of a mole in real life, passing himself off as a newsman when he's really a CIA operative.
Tell us what you've been doing.
I've been, hosting Hollywood Squares, which has worked out really well for me, and Joker's Wild too. Big push. Actually, no, I'm doing a reality show called The Mole. That's going to start on ABC News Tuesday night at 8 o'clock.
Playing for up to $1 million. Among them, a saboteur, a traitor, the mole. The winner, the one who answers the question, who is the mole?
And that's what the CIA is all about. Trickery and deception. And one thing you'll always notice with the PSYOP or hoax is Anderson Cooper is always interviewing the crisis actors. That's one of his main jobs as working as a mole. He coaches them, tells them what to say, what not to say, goes over the lines. He's basically the crisis actors' handlers with all these PSYOPs.
It's the person that I'm most sad about. She was the nicest person in the world, and I cannot believe that man killed her. It's just I can't believe that.
Like I stated so many times, liars just can't keep their lies straight. With this crisis actor, Norman Cassiano, he blows us wide open. Basically, this is the final nail in the coffin as far as this Orlando shooting hoax is concerned. I'm going to play from the very start, and I'll continue on a bit more. Take a look.
And he said, if you're a victim, come out with your hands in the air. I wave my hands like this.
He's talking about being in the pulse, supposedly being in the pulse. And when the cops see him in the club, he's already shot up. And just take a listen to what he says.
I go out and they automatically see me distraught. My shirt, I had white pants on. My shirt, I had white pants on. My shirt, I had white pants on.
So he's confirming this is him on the street with the white pants. Now, take a listen to this. This is the portion that is a smoking gun, that this is nothing more than a hoax, nothing more than a fabricated story. Take a listen.
They didn't want to go with me, and I had to step over bodies that are already passed out and climbed onto the sink to then climb over. At that point, I put my hands in the air, waved them to the cops. They came, got me, and just brought me straight out to a stretcher in an ambulance. So if they brought him straight out on a stretcher to an ambulance, what the hell's he doing walking on the streets? And again, the pulse is all the way over here. So this is a smoking gun right here. There's no way they would put him on a stretcher in an ambulance, then dump him off all the way down at Orange, have him get out of the ambulance and walk down the street again towards Pulse. They would have brought him straight to the hospital, which is all the way down the end of the street here in Orange. And for all those out there that believe this was a real shooting, you gotta be kidding me. You're either in complete denial or just completely blind, maybe both.
obviously what's taking place here. Nothing more than propaganda, nothing more than a psyop. Like the old saying goes, sometimes people don't want to hear the truth because they don't want their illusion destroyed.